Now we're going to solve problem number 2 from your practice exam 2. Problem number 2, the instructions are to use the car payment calculator to construct a one-way data table that shows the monthly payment and total interest paid for loans of 2 to 10 years in increments of 1 year, and then a two-way data table that shows the monthly payment for loans of 2 to 10 years in increments of 1 year and down payments of $0 to $10,000 in increments of $2,000. Let's start with the one-way data table. I'm going to click in cell A12 because I'm going to skip one row, and I'm going to enter in my number of years. I'm instructed to use 2 to 10 years in increments of 1 year, so I will type the numbers 2 and hit enter, and then 3 and hit enter. Then select both of those cells and use the fill handle to fill the numbers down to 10. Now in the column header, so row 11, in the second column for my one-way data table, I want to show the monthly payment in column 2, so I make reference to the monthly payment formula. So to do that, I type an equal sign and then click on the monthly payment formula. I can also retype the monthly payment formula in this cell if I wanted to, but because it already exists, it's easier just to make a reference to that formula. Now in column 3, I'll display the total interest paid. So I'll click in cell C11, type an equal sign, and then click on the formula for the total interest, cell B8. Once again, I could just retype the formula in cell C11, but since the formula already exists, it's a lot easier just to make a reference to that formula. Now, to construct my one-way data table, I'm going to select the range A11 down to C20. I'm going to click my Data tab. In the Forecast group, I'm going to click What If Analysis, and then the third option, Data Table. So in this data table, notice I don't have any data in the row. I only have my years in the column. So I'm going to skip the row input cell. I'm going to leave that blank, and I'm going to go into my column input cell. In my column input cell, I'm going to click B4, the number of years. That cell B4 is used in the formulas in B7 and B8. So what I'm instructing Excel to do is to replace the numbers in the left-hand column in the data table with cell B4 in the formulas that are listed in cell B11 and C11. So all I have to do now is click OK. And I now have calculated my monthly payment and my total interest paid for loans of 2 up to 10 years. Now let's construct our two-way data table. So to construct the two-way data table, in the column we can either put the 2 to 10 years in increments of 1 year, or we could put that across the first row, or we could put the down payment down the column and the monthly payment across the row. It's your choice. I'm going to match the last data table, so I'm going to put the number of years down the first column. So I'll put 2, 3, select the 2, and drag the fill handle down to fill that to 10. Now I'll take my down payments. So 0 to 10,000 in increments of 2,000. So 0 in the first cell, cell G11, 2,000 in cell H11, and I can also use the fill handle to fill horizontally. So I'll use the fill handle to fill those numbers out to 10,000. Now with the two-way data table, you can only display the results of one formula. In the one-way data table, I can have two different formulas. In my two-way data table, only one formula can display within the table. So you are instructed to show the monthly payment. So in the corner between the down payment and the number of years, in cell F11. I'm going to type an equal sign and then click on the formula where I'd like to display in the table. That is the monthly payment, cell B7. I hit enter, and now I'm going to do something similar to my one-way data table, except now I'm going to have both row and column input cells. So I'll select F11 down to L20, click my Data tab. In the Forecast group, I'll click What If Analysis, and then Data Table. So my row input cell, this is my row. My row input cell becomes the down payment, cell B2. And my column input cell is the same as the previous table, the number of years, cell B4. So I'm instructing Excel to substitute these values into these formulas within the data table. So I just click OK, and then notice all my monthly payments have now populated.